Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Now, what I like, there's many things I like about you. First and foremost, I like the fact that you're a scientist who is always kind of relentlessly positive about humanity, and that doesn't seem to always be the case. But why is that? What makes you so positive?
Really, what people call optimism is simply my looking at trends over time that are very hard to discern if you consume the news. Because the news is a non-random sample of everything that goes wrong at any given time.
This is it.
And because of a quirk of human cognition called the availability bias, namely, we judge what is common and rare or prevalent or risky by how easily you can remember examples. And that the news feeds us is an endless set of examples of explosions and terrorist attacks and depressions and things that go wrong. So what I have done is I plotted graphs on various measures of human well-being over time, war deaths, and which go down, and extreme poverty, which goes down, and illiteracy, and female illiteracy, violence against women. And it just so happens that when you do look at the trends, instead of remembering the last gory incident, things have gotten better. By and large, not always. Now, when you do that, you're called an optimist simply because the reality is that a lot of things have gone right that we're otherwise blind to.
Because it strikes me increasingly that the news isn't interested in the truth. The news is interested in ratings. So you have to kind of turn it into a soap opera so we're never turning away and you go, did you see this or did you see that? And increasingly with phones, now, we're kind of constantly, wah, look at this madness, wah, look at this madness, wah, look at this madness, wah. So as a consequence, we feel like the world is constantly mad. But like you say, if there was a way that you could be on our phone going, wah, well, actually, it's not that bad. Wah, things are getting slowly better. Wah, it's not perfect, but it is getting better. Wah. I don't know what the duck noise is, Stephen. That was an attempt at a text message. I haven't got a quacking phone, I don't want that. We should talk about your new book. Your new book is called Rationality. What is that about?
It's about what rationality consists of, what are our best tools for being more rational, like probability, like logic, like distinguishing causation from correlation. And I teach this. I'm a psychology professor. I love to teach it. I think everyone should know it. But the real interest in the book, and I realized this as soon as I started telling people I was writing it, is why does the world seem to be losing its mind?
Yeah.
Why do we have the conspiracy theories, the quack cures, the paranormal woo-woo, the fake news? And that was unavoidable if you're writing a book on rationality.
Yeah. It strikes me that people are sort of, we devour emotion more than logic. I've often thought about this. No one's ever rationalised anyone into bed. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you've never gone up to someone in a club, I'm a 6, you're a 6, we're the best we can do. Do you know what I mean?
Even though that ultimately is the reality.
Well, that's the truth.
Yes, that's right.
But nobody wants that. It's not, it's not going to work. Let's go make some average love. Do you know what I mean? It's like... So what I'm interested in, why is it... Because rationality clearly is another word for the truth. So why do we struggle to get to that?
There are certain... I talk about this in the book. In courtship, that is an example in which there is a strange advantage to being irrational. Because if you're completely rational, you would say, I'm after the best-looking, smartest, richest person who will settle for me. That's kind of not what you say. That's the reality.
Yeah, yeah.
What you do
It certainly gets there when you hit 30, doesn't it? Like, suddenly everyone's not quite so picky. It's like, yeah, you'll do.
Well, and one of the reasons that you don't utter that truth is that if you were just smart shopping, then, of course, the other person would be crazy to get together with you in the first place, because as soon as you found someone a little bit better, you would drop them and go to the better person. Yeah. So instead, the content of courtship is always, it's your unique, irreplaceable traits that I can't help but falling in love with. And if you listen to the lyrics of love songs, it's, I like the way you walk, I like the way you talk, I can't help falling in love with you, it wasn't a choice. And that's kind of what you want to hear from someone who's courting you, because if they are choosing you on completely rational grounds, they could choose someone else on rational grounds when they come along.
And do you think that thing with science where, because science is rabidly obsessed with the truth, you know, and the truth, like some babies, can be ugly. So, and I've just noticed your cowboy shoes fucking right on. I wasn't expecting that. I just looked down. I was like, yes. Like, because Yeah, but... I get the impression there's one part of you're allowed to dress, and then the rest... Do you know, it's like, suit, no, but I'm wearing the boots, I'm wearing the boots. Do you know, I'll get back to that question in a minute. I bought a pair of cowboy boots when I was in Iowa, and my bank card was cancelled because my bank rang me up and went, you made a purchase that we don't expect. And I was like, you don't know who the fuck I am. Like, I want to buy cowboy boots like Steven Pinker, I will. Anyway, what I was saying, like, the interesting thing about science, so science is concerned with the truth, and sometimes that truth, that tangibility, doesn't fit a current culture. And it strikes me that's really worrying to cancel the pursuit of truth. Do you ever feel that as someone that's working in science?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
And because people do moralize certain beliefs,
yeah.
they give them a moral value, and it happens on both sides of the political spectrum.
Yeah.
We see it in, say, denial of human-made climate change on
yes.
the right.
Yes.
We see it on the denial of sex differences on the left.
Yeah.
From a kind of, say, in that case, there's kind of a dubious version of feminism that says that women have equal rights because they're completely identical to men. Now, I've never really understood the basis for that kind of feminism. Like, what's so great about men that you should be offended if women are different?
Yeah, yeah.
In many ways, women are better. But there arose the idea, kind of a sacred value that men and women can't differ other than through socialization
yeah.
and through parenting practices, and the idea that like virtually all animals, the male and the female of the species might differ from one another,
yeah.
Has become a kind of taboo.
But it's that frustrating thing with, it feels like with so many causes, it feels like people are more interested in the battle than the solution. And we, the confused middle, are just like, we want to get to the better place, we want to fix things. It just feels like reading your book and exploring the concept of rationality and looking at things from a statistical point of view has to be the way forward. But how do we do that? Like,
to be evidence-based and to be eclectic, because none of us is infallible, none of us is omniscient. And indeed, one of the reasons that I wrote Rationality was to try to figure out why there is so much craziness, why is there vaccine resistance, why is there, why are there conspiracy theories? And a lot of it comes from what may be the most powerful of the cognitive biases, called my side bias. Namely, you believe the propositions that are moral values within your side. You avoid changing your mind if it's going to make you a heretic, a rebel, a pariah.
Yeah.
And so people on each side get more and more entrenched in beliefs, including some crazy beliefs.
And because of the world of the internet now, you could have the most out there theory, you could type it into the internet, someone's already there.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean?
Now, you know, we've always had conspiracy theories. So it isn't, I don't blame the internet for coming up with them, because there were the protocols of the Elders of Zion, and there were the Illuminati, and the Freemasons. There are all kinds of crazy beliefs. There was always fake news in supermarket tabloid headlines. You know, two-headed baby born talking, one that speaks English, the other ancient Latin. One of my favorites. I don't know if you have them here.
Probably. But, have you ever read Take a Break magazine? I love the chat, but I'm interested in the boots.
Yes. Well, they're a way...
Tell me about the boots, because they don't strike me as a rational purchase.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like it. But then it's irrational of me to think that you, as a scholarly professor, should wear brogues.
Well, they're a way for men to wear high heels.
Yeah, I love them.
They give you an extra inch.
Yeah.
They lengthen your legs. You walk faster.
But they're so great. Do they go all the way up the leg?
Oh, of course they. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, you absolutely. So interesting. I could talk to you for hours. Ladies and gentlemen, please get up the wonderful Steven Pinker!